So we got reds and blues. The yellows stay at the very bottom. Because I only get those out for oversized loads. I think it was hot sauce from somebody's taco.
In 1.5 miles, turn left.
So no through trucks. Guess we're not a through truck. We're picking up on this road. They put it together wrong and they had to cut a piece off and re-weld it back on. We've been here 6 hours so far and the trailer's still not, I don't know if they're done welding it. They're not doing that in the same shop here. They got several different buildings. We'll get to try out the detention policy though and see how that works out. I'm not upset about it, but if they think it's okay for a truck to sit there for that long and not pay any extra for that time, then yeah, that gets you put on the do not haul list real quick.
Starting route. Proceed to the route.
everything needs a software update these days. Just connected my headset to a new phone, and it said that the headset needed to do a software update. All it is a microphone and a speaker with Bluetooth connection hooked up to a battery. I guess they run it. I guess it's got a chip in there that does noise cancellation and stuff like that, though. Hopefully they made it better. This used to be a Plantronics Voyager Legend, and then Poly, I guess Poly bought them out or something, and then recently HP took over, and so this is the new HP version. The one good thing is it's got a USB-C charging port on it, so you don't have to, use some proprietary cable. It doesn't use the old crappy micro USB charging thing, but the answer and ignore doesn't work at all. Like, it'll ask me every time somebody's calling, answer or ignore. And I'll say answer or I say ignore repeatedly. It can't pick that up. That seems like it's something that's worked forever with these headsets. It's never been a problem. And this brand new HP version can't do just the basic features that we had 10 years ago. But that's kind of like everything these days. The iPhone, this iOS 26 update, the dang alarm clock doesn't even work anymore. Ever since the very first iPhone, you hit a side button when the alarm's going off, and that puts it into a that snoozes it. So that puts it in snooze, and then it'll go off 9 or 10 minutes later. Well, on this iOS 26 update, if you hit the side buttons, it silences the alarm and does not go into snooze. So the alarm is still going off, it's just silent, so the alarm will never go off again. I was on a load a few months ago when this update first came out, and thankfully it wasn't a time-sensitive load. But I slept like 3 hours too long because the snooze button silenced the alarm, and my alarm didn't. And I was waking up at like 2 in the morning, so supposed to wake up at 2 in the morning. So the only thing I found to fix that, it does it when it's in that like horizontal, I guess wherever it shows you like the big numbers for the clock, it's like when it's charging and it's in that horizontal landscape mode. So it's like showing you, it kind of turns the phone into like an alarm, it's supposed to be an alarm clock, or just a side little desk clock that shows you really big, like the whole screen is just taken up by the numbers from the clock and the date, and stuff like that. So when it's in that mode, the buttons, none of the buttons, the power buttons, the volume buttons, used to, any button you pressed on the side acted like a snooze button, and now all those just silence it. And you have to like wake up in the middle of the night, look at the screen on your phone, find out where the snooze button is on the screen, and press that if you want to snooze it. So I just disabled that feature, and whenever it's in the normal mode, where that, I think they call it a standby mode, whenever standby mode's turned off, the alarm clock works like it's supposed to. So all these companies keep doing these software updates and breaking their own products and making them worse than they were, in the past. I remember growing up, it seemed like back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Every single year, you could count on it. It was like clockwork. Technology just got better. Every single time a new product came out, it was better than the last version. And now, you might as well not even do a software update because they're just going to break your phone. But just got a load booked from, let's see, there we go. Just got a load booked from Mount Pleasant, going back up to the same place. Mount Pleasant, this one's going down to Sarasota, Florida. Another load of utility trailers. I can't get away from these loads. These trailer manufacturers have my house surrounded. I've got big techs everywhere around me, PJs all over, Load Trail. This one's one I haven't even heard of. I think it's called Texas Bragg Trailers. So we'll see how they do. But yeah, seems like I'm always hauling these little utility trailers, and I really don't like hauling them. I mean, I guess the only good thing is they always pay a little bit above the they pay above the market rate. I mean, they're not paying like $4 or $5 a mile or anything, but they do normally pay pretty close to $3, normally just under $3. In a good market, they'll always pay over $3. Right now they're
in 6.2 miles, turn left onto East US Highway 80.
So right now they're paying, I think this one was somewhere between $250 and $3. I think it was $270 maybe. But in this market, I'm not going to complain about $270 a mile. I know it's not great, but we're coming into the slow flatbed season. You know, I just left the house from Thanksgiving, so I got Christmas coming up in 3 weeks. Normally, I mean, this is a good time for, I guess, drive-in freight's doing good with all the packages and people buying Christmas gifts and stuff. If you work for FedEx or UPS, I'm sure you're staying busy right now, but step deck and flatbed, heavy haul, a lot of the projects start slowing down right now because the weather's not great. It's real, you know, things starting to get, things are starting to ice over in parts of the country, and you know, so your oil and gas projects, your wind projects, solar projects, all those infrastructure type or energy infrastructure projects, while they might still be going on, they kind of shift gears and they're not, there's, you know, it's not as busy as it is in the spring and summertime. So it'll be normally March when things start to pick back up. And December's not the worst. Usually towards the end of January is where it really slows down, and then February is normally terrible. But yeah, that's just a normal cycle. So I didn't mess with the trailer at all, or I did, but I didn't mess with the trailer lights, and they're all working good this morning. So it's hard for me to spend time when I've got like 100 other things on my to-do list to spend time on something that's not actually broken at the moment. So yeah, that's just gonna have to wait until it actually shows up as a problem again. But I just got the GPS pointed towards that same truck stop Cubbies up there in Mount Pleasant, and this other place it's not right around the corner. It's probably, I'm not sure, a few miles or less from that truck stop. So we'll be up there shortly. It's only about an hour away from the house. That was a TA Express there in Kilgore, Texas. We just left. I was trying out a new fuel card. I got this RXO fuel card just to use as a backup, because the backup fuel card I'd been using, I mean, I've always got, mud flap, but as far as traditional fuel cards go, I'd been using this TCS, some junk fuel card. It wasn't even a real fuel card. It was like you had to transfer money onto it to use it. I don't want to mess with all that crap. I just need the card to have money and just work whenever I need to buy fuel, and then they can take money straight out of my account. So I've been hunting around, and this RXO is unique because it doesn't have a EFS monthly charge on it. So most of the EFS cards, they'll have like a $7 or $8 just charge just for the privilege of having that card in your wallet. And this one, through RXO, it doesn't have a monthly charge, and it's the credit version, which I wanted. So I figured I'd give it a shot. And so I just tested it out. I put like a couple gallons on it just to make sure it worked. So they don't have the monthly charge. They paid for the like $60 credit check and application fee that you normally have to pay for those. So I didn't pay anything to get the card, and there's no monthly charge as long as you don't use the card. That's the thing. I don't plan on ever using that card. If you use the card, then you pay the normal $8 or whatever it is every month. But I'm not going to use it. It's just going to sit there as a backup. I've got my primary fuel card I use is an Expeditors card that's got good discounts with TA, Petro, Loves. I'm sure they have a few others, but those cover most of it. The other thing about the RXO was that they had a discount with what is that truck stop, Jade? Not Flying J and Pilot. I wish I had one that had Pilot and Flying J discounts, but I don't. Road Ranger. Yeah, so the RXO does have a discount with Road Ranger. My Expediter card doesn't have any discount with Road Ranger. But normally I'll stay at Love's. They're nicer. And the Expediter card I use, most places, their fuel is it's like between 5 and 10 cents higher than the closest TA or Petro. And TA and Petro, they have the biggest discount, at least on the card I use. They're really close to the prices I used to pay with Landstar, which had pretty good fuel rates there with their card. So if for some reason the Expediter card gets lost or stolen,
at the light, turn left onto East US Highway 80.
I've got a backup, but if for some reason that card just gets shut down for whatever reason, I've got a backup, and it's not that little crappy card. But yeah, the RXO, their prices are horrible. I looked, there's only like a 20, I think it was like a 20-cent discount at that TA. That's only, I think I put 2 gallons on it. Not very much. My Expediter card is closer to like 60 to 80 cents off the pump price. And there's not a whole lot of cards that get that high on the discount, especially for Loves. So that's why I got that one. They told me the way they can get their discounts that high is they charge a...
In 4.7 miles, turn right onto State Highway 485 loop.
So they charge the Expediter card. They charge a fee every time you use it. So I don't know, it's a couple bucks, but I mean, it's nothing compared to how much you're spending on fuel, and it's nothing compared to the difference in the discount you get with it compared to other fuel cards. So they said they make their money by charging just a fixed rate or a fixed fee per transaction, and so they don't keep any of the discount. Most of these fuel cards, you know, they're profiting off of the discount. They might get a 60-cent discount per gallon, and they give you a 40-cent discount. They pocket 20 cents every time you fill up. So I would much rather pay a per use, you know, fixed fee and actually have them give me the full discount. I mean, that's just what the guy told me. I got no way to look at their contract they have and see what discounts they're actually getting, but they are much better than the other cards I've looked at. I mean, similar to Landstar. That's what I'm comparing it to, because I've been fueling up with Landstar's discounts for 6 years now. Now I gotta find a way to get cheap tires too. I would save, I think on the steer tires last time I bought them through El Cap was, I think I saved like $400 per tire compared to what, these were like $1,000 steer tires, you know, or maybe they've come down since then, but whenever I bought them, it was back when everything was just going crazy on the prices. And so I got a set of steers for $1,200 that normally would have cost $2,000. So I just bought these straps and they're too long. The red ones are supposed to be 21. So we got 21 and all that is junk. 21 feet is right there. So the blue ones are supposed to be 30. The red ones are supposed to be 21. And the yellow ones are supposed to be 40. The yellow ones are just for like oversized, tall and wide loads. And the blue ones are for like just typical legal taller loads. And these red ones are a lot more efficient for any short load that you can get them on. You save a lot of time by not having to mess with all that. Rolling it out, rolling it back up. Oh, this will be the hard part. Much better. Much better. We might be able to use this. Probably not. Just got too much of it. We've already got a bunch of extra anyways. I think we'll keep one and throw the other away. Even if you just spent an extra 10 or 15 seconds on a strap to roll it up, that's valuable time. And multiply that by however many straps you're using, and then add in the extra time you spent, rolling the excess up out on the load, add in the extra time you spent unrolling it, extra time you spent walking extra far around your trailer to drag it back over here to put up. So for every strap, you know, that adds up to a lot of time. That's why I have red straps that are for the short loads, and they're a lot more efficient to use, and they take up less space. So we got reds and blues. The yellows stay at the very bottom, because I only get those out for oversized loads. But that'll be much better. Last time I was over here, I thought there was I had a leak in my radiator. There was like some red liquid right below my bumper. And I got to looking at it. I think it was hot sauce from somebody's taco that had dripped out like right as they were walking by the trucks and stuff. Because it was thick. It wasn't coolant. But I got some of these. I wouldn't have lost that red strap if I'd have had some of these little 4-inch edge protectors, because mine are like twice that long, but these will get into narrower spaces, which are good for these trailers. See? Yeah, about twice that long. These are the ones I normally use, which are good for, you know, they spread the load out a little bit across the product. Well, where are we? 3.5 miles away from the shipper. So it's 7:05. I'm supposed to be there at 8. Told the broker I'd try to get over there about 7:30. She said they show up early at this one. So this will be my first time over here. She said she's had trucks in here before that I've been able to get out in like 2.5 or 3 hours before, which is really fast for loading these trailers. But the place I'm delivering, it looks like it's a boat trailer dealership, someplace down in Sarasota, Florida. So I don't know if these are boat trailers. I mean, I know they're not big boat trailers, but they'd be, I guess they might be the small ones. But when I look at the satellite view at the receiver, that's all I can see is a bunch of, looks like a bunch of boat trailers, and if you look at from the street view, you see, you see boats and boats on trailers and whatnot in there, so I don't know. I guess it's possible they mostly do boat trailers, but they also offer some little just utility trailers. If I had to guess, that's what we're picking up, is utility trailers. I've never... Yeah, I don't know. But we'll find out in a few minutes. We're about to take off and head that way. He's just trying to get a better angle to make a right turn out into the road, but he's got plenty of room now. I'm not sure if he's he found an open parking spot, so
turn right onto I-30 service road. Turn left onto FM 1001. In 1.8 miles, take a slight right turn onto County Road 3320. Take a slight right turn onto County Road 3320. In In 1.5 miles, turn left.
So no through trucks. Guess we're not a through truck. We're picking up on this road, so.
In 1 mile, turn left.
This must be the fourth driveway. Say that's one. There's two.
Turn left, then arrive at your destination.
Three, and this is four. That entrance.
Arrive at your destination. Arrived.
No signs for shipping and receiving. Check in. I have no idea where to go. Well, I found a guy on a forklift. He said that they just stay parked right where we're at, but they don't open until 8 o'clock. This building next door, which is called Lone Star Trailer Parts, is like, he said it's a shared building. 2 different businesses operate out of that building, and the office people for the trailer manufacturer here, they office out of that building, and those are the people I need to talk to check in. So, but they don't get started until 8 o'clock, 7:35. About to pull this truck out. We're gonna pull in behind them. just before 8. One of the I'm mostly loaded. We've got every trailer loaded except for one that somehow they put it together wrong and they had to cut a piece off and re-weld it back on. So they're doing that, and then they'll have to repaint it and all that stuff. So we've been here 6 hours so far, and the trailer's still not, I don't know if they're done welding it. They're not doing that in the same shop here. They got several different buildings. So I don't know. We're going to spend pretty much all day here. I think I'm just going to head back to Cubbies. I may try to make it down to Jefferson. I don't know. It depends on what time if we get out of here at 4 o'clock. Probably do a quick load check at Cubbies and then head down to, there's a CEFCO in Jefferson that's less than 60 miles away. So I was shooting to try to get through, somewhere between Shreveport and Vicksburg. I was planning on things taking a little while. Normally you plan on about 4 hours, but we're at the 6 hour mark and still don't have an ETA on when the trailer's going to be ready. They just said they had to cut a bracket or something off and re-weld the new one on, and then they got to paint over all the welds and everything like that. So I don't know. We'll get to try out the detention policy though and see how that works out. But anyways, I'll be back once we actually get everything loaded here. We just got loaded. This is what we got. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trailers. And it's that one on the very top up there that took forever. But yeah. So we're about to hit the road. Try to make it a few miles at least. CEFCO on Highway 59 in Jefferson, Texas. So, about 90% sure we're going to call it quits up there. It's right at 5 o'clock. Sun's already trying to go down. I think we'll just pick it back up tomorrow morning. Should be able to get through Shreveport before people start waking up. We get shut down by, let's see, we get shut down by 5:30. We take off at 3:30. We'll be really like 30 miles away from Shreveport. So.
Turn right onto South Walcott Street. In about 13 miles, turn left onto State Highway 390 loop.
heading down to the loop around Marshall. I think it's called the 390 loop. So swing that around the Highway 80 and jump on 80, run that over to I-20. Then we'll take the 220 around Shreveport. Get back on 20, take that to Highway 49 in Jackson, Mississippi. And that will take us down to that'll take us to Hattiesburg. I think it's Highway 98 we jump on from there, and 98 will take us over to Mobile, and then we'll be on I-10 all the way until we make it to I-75, head south down to Tampa. Or we're going past Tampa. We're going down to Sarasota. And I talked to the receiver yesterday when everything was taking real long, and he said he didn't care if these got here there Friday or Monday. He said don't worry about it. So, which, I mean, they told me 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the delivery window Friday. I'm really confident they're going to get there Friday, but when you lose that much time, when you're starting your day with 5 hours left on your 14-hour clock, you always want to give people a heads up and just let them know what's going on. So he seemed cool with it. He actually kind of sounded like he wanted it Monday. I don't know if they got something else going on Friday or what, but I told him I'd rather get them off Friday so I don't have to sit with them for that long. The bad thing about getting held up early when you're getting loaded like that is, like, you can normally be sitting there booking a load, or you can book a load, when you're heading down. But when you get held up and you're going to be late, especially getting there on a Friday, I'm definitely not. I didn't take it off yet, but I should have just gone ahead and taken Friday off my list for when I'm looking for a load. We're just gonna have to shoot for Monday, or if we get lucky, find something that loads on Saturday or Sunday. That probably won't happen, but every now and then, and things happen, I'm not as long as if that shipper pays the detention that they said they were, and everything's good with their, with their payment, then I'm not upset about it. But if they think it's okay for a truck to sit there for that long and not pay any extra for that time, then that gets you put on the do not haul list real quick. So we'll find out. We'll find out in about a month or so. I mean, just the day before, you saw me like trying to save a few seconds here and there, putting on my straps by cutting the ends of my straps off. So you can guess how I feel about losing that much time sitting there at a shipper or receiver.
difference in the wind. When dark clouds form and start to turn, I'll run again. Far away when the hurricane comes in. Well, I'm the only island in the way, but I was born to fight the wind and rain. Sometimes a man will keep himself in shame, mask a painful past he overcame. Oh, yes. Oh. Well, you've been steady, building steam like a thunderhead, armed and ready with the lies you overheard. Well, strike me down like a lightning in the dark, deliver me the fate I must deserve. Oh, don't you? I just wait and listen for the storm. You can hear the difference in the wind. When the dark clouds form and start to turn, I'll run again. Far away when the hurricane comes in. When the dark clouds form and start to turn,